Good afternoon and welcome to Rebels Radio, live here from Communications Park for this game in the Cala League Southern Central Division between Daventry Town and Slough Town. So it is third versus fourth in this top of the table clash, which is really even. I think it's the game of the day. If I'm honest, Mick, what do you make of it?
Yes, it is. They've not conceded many goals, have they, Daventry at home? So
no, only nine all season, and three of those were on Thursday night when they lost 3-0, their first home defeat at all this season to Kettering in the league, that was. So yeah, they've taken an amazing amount of points at home. I think they've taken 40 points, or maybe even, I think it's something like 40 points at home at an average of 2.25 points per game, so they are really flying.
They are, but we've got a decent squad. We've got Dan Simpson back in today as well. Had an excellent game last week, I thought, and I was talking to one of the St Ives players afterwards, and he said, well, he's no good on the floor. And I said, well, he never actually played it on the floor, he just played everything up to his head. And he cleared everything, and he got man of the match, which was quite well deserved. And he's back with us this week, obviously because of the injuries. And let's hope he has another decent game. It's a fabulous day here. We're up on a balcony above the boardroom. We've got a superb view of everything that's going on. Behind the goal to our right, we have a little five-a-side two sports pitches, four sports pitches, little five-a-side pitches. Games going on there. When the ball goes out on that side, there's netting above the five-a-side pitch, and there's a chap there with a pole who's trying to nudge the balls back into play, so that could be quite interesting later.
Just to set the scene, I think Daventry obviously doing very well in the league, got plenty of games in hand and pushing for potentially the championship, let alone one of the playoff spots. The ground is slightly dry, dusty when I was out there earlier, Mick. It's going to bounce a lot, bobble a lot around. The teams are about to come out shortly. To the left of the ground, it's quite an open, exposed ground. On the far side, there's a field with some horses in and some small houses, cottages. Dugouts are on the far side, quite a way apart as the managers are coming out. Behind the goal to our left is a load of trees, and as Mick said, to the right there's some goals training up pitches, and then we're on a lovely new facility here. We've been made very welcome by the Daventry contingent and everyone here. Just as John Unders and Neil Baker make their way out, I'll take you through the teams. Firstly, the Daventry Town team, who will play in purple, purple and purple. In goal, number 1, Richard Morris. Number 2, Ollie Wilkinson. 3, Josh Blake. 4, Marcel Simpson. 5, and captain Liam Dolman, or Bully as he's known, I think. 6, Adam Confew. 7, Mikael Beckley. 8, Ryan Harrell. 9, Ashley Robinson. 10, Luke Keane, and 11, James Husband. And on the bench they've got Joshua Grady, Ash Deeney, Tommy Berwick, Ross Alton and Tom James. And now the Rebels team. In goal, number 1, Jake Somerville. Number 2, Sean Fraser. Number 3, Ryan Parsons. Number 4, Dan Simpson, making his second appearance for Slough now after his man of the match appearance last week. Number 5, and captain Dave Woozy. Number 6, Lee Rumbold. 7, Johnnie Dyer. 8, Jamie McClurg. 9, Ed Smith. 10, George Shaw, and 11, Warren Harris. So on the bench for Slough today is number 12, Guy Hollis. Number 13, Adam Cornell. 14, Jake Parsons. New signing Stephen Duff, number 15, and finally number 16, Scott Harris. So the sun is just shining out on here. I can see Adam Fowler making his way across the pitch with a slight limp on, with a knee brace on. As ever, the heartbeat of the team, and really passionate to be around the boys just at the moment. So he's done his bit. He's come up on the team this morning on the bus and is well in for it. Mick, what did you make of the Adam Fowler injury and how people have started to get behind him?
It's not a good one, is it? Looks like he's going to be out for a while, but I think the team will rally round with a very, very good side and a lot of good team spirit. And I think with Dan Simpson coming in and the new lad Steve Duff, once he's match fit, there's good reports about him as well. Yes, he'll be missed, but I think we can all pull together, especially the position we're in. We're in that promotion spot. We're still going for it. And I think we've still got a good chance of doing it.
Yeah, so two teams keen, as I can just see that the referee, Mr. Michael Shriven, is just leaning out the team, and you can hear a bit of noise here. Slough are wearing their home kit of amber shirts, navy shorts and navy socks. And as I say, Daventry are wearing an all-purple kit with their goalkeeper, Richard Morris, wearing all red. Jake Somerville in the Slough goal, wearing his very dizzy, bright yellow, pineapple-type boots, is wearing all blue. Super Kev is just making his way out, and you can probably hear the tannoy making its way through there. They're all just going through their handshakes as now, and this is the kind of final build-up. There's a lot of build-up, a lot of excitement today in the anticipation. And I know certainly the Slough players were very up for this game and can see its importance, and they really want to do well in this game. So it'll be interesting to see how they make for this, because George Short obviously starts again, and Jake Parsons, after not perhaps fully recovering from his hamstring injury, is on the bench. So we've got Rumbold, Short and McClurg on the pitch, so it'll be interesting to see how we line up with Johnnie Dyer as well playing, and also obviously the goal machine Ed Smith wearing a particularly fancy set of orange boots that Mick will be a big fan of.
We're fighting with Tanner at the moment as well. It's going to be difficult today because we're playing in yellow and blue, our home kit, and Daventry in the old purple, so I've got to try and remember not to try and confuse the two teams today, but linesmen have just done their job on the goals, and they're just coming to the centre circle for the coin toss now.
As ever today, it will be good to know what you're doing, how you're getting on, and what might be going on with your worlds wherever you may be. So please do contact us and let us know. We'll be on at MyFC's Rebels Radio, or talk to us on the MyFC chat day room, or alternatively the Slough forum. Any of those sorts of things, or even you can come up if you're in the ground and come and say hello to us. Whatever it may be, please do let us know where you're listening. Send us photos, whatever you may be. If you're in your Slough shirt, if you're in your Daventry shirt and far away. Hopefully there's people from both sides listening. Unfortunately though, for you Daventry fans, the commentary might be a little bit one-dimensional for you, so apologies now.
Just a bit biased, but never mind.
And unfortunately we've also, as you can probably hear, still got that northern bloke who turned up every now and then. He's decided that Daventry's far enough south for him to tolerate, so he's actually come down. He's quite happy with the price of beer.
It's £2 a pint, but it's offset by the fact it's about 140 odd miles from me, but I didn't think it was that far, but never mind. I'm here now.
Oh, apparently it's only £2 while the game's on. After the game, it's not at all good. The captains are just getting together. I think Billy, as he's known to his players. Yeah, so number 5, captain Liam Dolman, who's Billy, against obviously number 5, Dave Woosley, 2 experienced campaigners there. They're switching ends. So in this first half, Slough will be playing, as we look at it, left to right. And Daventry will be shooting obviously right to left and slightly down a slope. The pitch is quite sandy. There's a little bit of breeze coming through, so if you get some background noise from the wind, please accept that. We're still alongside our local cameraman, who will hopefully show you the highlights. This hopefully might make a bit more sense for you people who do watch the highlights, as we're just going through the final little checks. The referee's just having a little word with Johnnie Dyer just earlier. Johnnie Dyer, freshly shaved beard today. He's not freshly shaven, but he's had a good old trim, so that ginger kind of very large beard has now been taken away, and we're about to get underway, I think, here.
Has he dyed his hair with a ginger beard and brown hair then?
No, I don't think he dyed his hair, but he's obviously had a little bit of a shave here, because his beard has gone, so we've still got 2 gingers up front, is how he looks at it, to be honest. I'm not sure whether they're better at scoring, whether there's a propensity to that. So the big moment has come though. Mr. Shriven is just doing his final checks, and we're off. And immediately the ball's played back to the right back position for Daventry, with Wilkinson getting an early touch. The ball cuts inside Smith, passes the ball across square to Simpson. Simpson takes a touch home and will pass the ball back to Morris. Morris does well and just lofts the ball up in the air. So this is first aerial ball, which Shinton gets under. Plenty of power on the header, and I think the ball will roll harmlessly out for a throw into Daventry down below us to the right.
Sinton got to that one, no pressure on him, just inside his own half on this near side to us.
Ball launched into play, and it's just playing head tennis in the middle, and Lumbold lofts the ball forward in the direction of Johnnie Dyer, but Johnnie Dyer turns away from it slightly and is cleared long and high, but puts Simpson in a little bit of trouble. Simpson plates a safe route out, and then will knock the ball safely. So it's now an attacking throw to Daventry down in the left-hand corner. Slough come under a little bit of early pressure here. The sun just goes behind some clouds, and you can hear the Daventry fans starting to make some noise. They're very up for this game, and the Slough fans away to the right, making their vocal support known as the ball's on the edge of the Slough box. Warren Harris back there defending, hooks the ball clear, and it's once again out of play as the sides just start to settle. And it does look as if Slough will be playing with 2 men up, with Dyer and Smith being up as ever, and it looks as if Rumbold might be playing slightly to the left. George Short is just hanging back at the moment. It's difficult to say because they're all on the edge of the box awaiting their throw. Ball goes into the box and comes out, an opportunity for a cross, but Simpson gets in the way and cuts it out, flicks it on. Johnnie Dyer gets the ball. Now Ed Smith out to Clerg in centre field, who first time ball up in the air. Dolman and Smith underneath it. Dolman free header though. Back and bounce, and the ball's bouncing around on this very hard surface as well, difficult to control. But a long ball through, which I think will go all the way through to the keeper, which it does, and Morris collects very well and easily. But it does show, Mick, how the ball is really bouncing off the surface. It looks
very hard out there, doesn't it? It's a nice pitch, but it does look very hard, and it was a little too high there for Ed. He'd no chance with that one.
And a mistake there from right back Fraser allows the cross to come in on the left from James Husband for Daventry, but Somerville takes it easily because there's no pressure. Ball now up in midfield, and Johnnie Dyer on the ball on the centre line. Little ball out to Rumbold down the left flank. Eddie Smith on the far side, just in front of the dugouts with the ball at his feet. Simple ball back to George Short. George Short opens his body up and clips the ball out to the right back, almost immediately underneath us, which Fraser takes first time. Touch back to Simpson on the halfway line. Simpson chips the ball through for Fraser shape. So I think it's got a bit too much on it, and it goes out. But a little bit better there from Slough, playing the ball around on the floor.
Yeah, just a little bit too hard from him. Throwing to Slough on this near side now.
Once again, Simpson rises very well in the air and heads that ball clear.
It's another towering header from Simpson. Very impressed with him. Very impressed with him.
So if any of you aren't aware, there is money trying to be raised for Adam Fowler in a number of ways. I think there's going to be quiz nights, and I think also on the MyFC site there's a pledge bank going on which has already got a lot of support. So if people are willing to give a little bit of money, what is a very good cause, because Adam Fowler has not only been affected by the fact that he's injured and obviously hurt, but because his livelihood is a plumber, he's going to be out of not able to work for a little while. So there's some very generous donations already coming in. I think it's taking shape, but it just shows what a well-liked man he is in non-league circles.
We're always good at doing things like that, MyFC. We tend to rally round, and I'm sure we'll do the same for him. We've always done it.
Yes, so just a hold-up in play as the ball's coming in from the left. A throw in from the left-back position from Josh Blake into the edge of the box. Opportunity for Daventry now on the edge of the box, but well smothered down again by Rumbold, playing his last away game for the Rebels here before he goes back to America. Just wins it in midfield there, and now Ryan Parsons on the ball, flicks the ball through to the left-hand corner, which overhit for Johnnie Dyer in pursuit alongside the rather large Dolman, and it's a goal kick to Daventry at the right end. As we have played approximately about 4.5 minutes here, it's still Daventry Town 0, Slough Town 0. The game yet to settle. Yeah,
both sides trying each other out at the moment, but it's not been a bad start. Better start than last week, to be totally honest with you.
And there's been quite a good number of Slough fans have turned up. A few haven't got the message that you shouldn't wear purple and have turned up in their MyFC shirts, and hopefully they don't now look like they're supporting Daventry. As the goal kick's now being battled around in midfield, with Harris having a good tussle there with Husband, and the ball's now gone back into midfield with the effervescent McClurg putting the left back Blake under pressure, and McClurg worked very hard and forced him into the mistake. So it'll be an opportunity to Slough to possibly get possession back and throw the ball and keep it immediately underneath us. Throw up the line, directed in, gets through to Ed Smith, has a little touch, flicked on towards Johnnie Dyer, but the Dolman's, and it's flicked forward. And once again, Simpson very strong there. Under hits the pass to Fraser, and it gets cut out, but harmlessly once again from that play. Still waiting to settle back. Lots of energy in this game. Ball immediately underneath us, but it's gone out for a throw. But it's a throw into Slough immediately underneath us, and Slough are just starting to get the going, and you can hear the fans starting to make their noise.
Good atmosphere, very good atmosphere today.
And I think it's an excellent venue and an excellent facility for football, as Slough are attacking down at the right-hand corner. Difficult to see exactly what's going on because it's a bit too far, but it looks like
a throw into Slough.
A throw into Slough in the very right-hand corner.
It looks like Sean Fraser's taking it right by the corner flag on this near side.
And the ball is still down in the right-hand corner, just battled around. And again, I think it's another throw, and it's just being played over there between Warren Harris and Fraser. Harris throws the ball into Fraser. Tries the cross, gets blocked down, gets closed down, and the ball ricochets upfield, but Simpson putting Ashley Robinson under a lot of pressure, but the ball's played forward long towards Woos on the ball, but here Daventry have an opportunity to attack, and a good through ball towards Keane. Keane now up against Fowles. Woos, edge of the box, gets blocked by Ryan Parsons, then hook clear by Woos, and it's now on halfway end. That was a little bit of a let off for Slough there, Mick. Mick doesn't seem to be listening to that being a bit of a let-off, so it's fine as the ball's now through harmlessly with Somerville, and Somerville will now clear long. Clears in the direction of Johnnie Dyer. Gets a shove in the back. But Ed Smith's rushed onto it and will keep the ball in play. It's really bouncing off the surface, so Ed in the far right-hand corner. Under pressure. Cuts the ball in. Warren Harris, bit of a heavy touch, and unfortunately had the opportunity to cross, but just overrun it, and it's harmlessly behind, but better signs there.
That was an excellent move there. Ed did well to keep it in, and unfortunately it just ran out of play before it went across, but very, very good move from Slough there. They caught them on the hop a bit there.
As we said earlier in this game, Daventry have been a hard nut to crack here, especially at home. Only lost one game all season and drawn very few. Only conceded 9 goals in all their home matches. Good strength there by Robinson as he holds off Rumble, which isn't easy to do, and the ball's down in the left wing position with Luke Keane trying to drive a cross in, but mishits it, and it's a goal kick to Slough. Simpson just asking with the referee whether that was a foul or not against Rumble, but Rumble got edged off the ball there, didn't he?
I don't think it was. I've seen them given, as they say, but I don't think it was. But it was a very, very poor cross. It went well wide and out the ground. So we've got another ball on one of these grounds where it goes out the ground every now and then. So we should see a lot of that today. It's a goal kick to Slough. And
there's some other important games going on. A lot of the top teams play one another as Somerville drives the third forward, but once against Dolman, big clearance, a big clearing header, and then a handball given against Keane as the ball's up with him and Simpson, and once again Somerville will take the kick forward. But yeah, some other big games in this division today. We've got Beaconsfield entertaining Kettering, Dunstable at home to Aylesbury United, Marlow versus Rugby, and in the Royston versus Barton game, I understand Barton have already gone a goal up, which isn't great news for us. I think we'd probably prefer a Royston victory there to just hold Barton back a little bit. As Rumble concedes from the free kick, it's bobbling around on the edge of the area, and Rumble concedes a free kick, and he's now right in the referee's ear. He needs to watch himself there.
That was incredibly clumsy and a fairly obvious free kick. He jumped all over him.
Long ball cross field, and Fraser does well, beats Husband in the ball, and it's now through to Harris. It looked like he just got fouled, just got edged off the ball, but there seemed to be a potential advantage there. The game still hasn't quite settled down yet. Rumbold on the ball nice and early, just looking to potentially do this, and let's just see how this develops as Simpson looks to take the kick early, but Somerville's now saying he'll take it. 5 yards inside the Slough half. Aimed long crossfield, but there's no one really underneath it, and it's going to go harmlessly out. I don't think they were all on the same wavelength there, with George Short going forward. Fowler stayed at home, Simpson stayed at home, so there wasn't that much attacking height there for that free kick.
Totally wasted. Bounced 6 yards out from the goal and went harmlessly out of play. Defence didn't bother going for it. The forwards didn't go for it. It was far too high, far too hard. We've got to settle down. Both sides got to settle down.
Yeah. There's plenty of early kind of tension out there as people are trying to win their own little personal battles. I think their Confu just gave away a free kick there, and Woo's quickly on the ball. Parsons over it as well. Interesting. 1 yard inside the Slough half with his left foot looking to hit it long. Plenty of people getting forward, and George Short's making his way up, as is Ed Smith, Johnnie Dyer, all interested in this. Not committing. Ball into the box. Well, one header there by the Daventry players, and there's a few of them underneath it, but on the edge of the box, McClure picks it up, just heading away from goal, passes it out left wing to Parsons, cuts inside, plays a right foot ball into the far edge of the box. Johnnie Dyer's up early, comes out on the edge of the box on the ground, but no one's there to pick it up. It looks like Husband picked it up and played a ball in low, and Keane didn't have much there. And Johnnie Dyer's after a high, long ball through, and there's a little bit of contact, and he seemed to go down quite easily there, but the referee has deemed it that he pulled the shirt, so I think there's going to be I think it's setting out the tone for the game. I think there's going to be a fair few decisions and a fair few kind of arguments from both sides from a refereeing perspective.
I think he leaned at the defender and he made the most of it to get the free kick there, which was fair enough, because if he hadn't got the free kick, I'm sure that Johnnie Dyer was through there.
And Kettering have gone 1-0 up at Beaconsfield, we understand, so that's 2 games again going probably against either of these sides. As a long ball goes through to Johnnie Dyer down in the bottom right hand corner, putting the defender Simpson under pressure, but he does well, and throwing considered. Yeah, 1-0 Kettering, and also 1-0 to Barton at Royston. So some interesting results so far. Fraser taking the throw down in front of us to Warren Harris. Has the ball back. Takes the ball through low, edge of the box. Ed Smith with the ball at his feet. Feints towards their goal. Back to Fraser. Fraser, under pressure from Husband, decides to take him on. Comes back inside. Flicks the ball on the edge of the box, but there's no Slough bodies there. And Simpson lumps the ball forward, which is now 50-50, which Parsons will look to get there first. And he dives in, but doesn't put the ball out. And Beckley's now got free rein down the right. Beckley plays the ball off, and the ball's now coming to the edge of the box with Simpson, putting Robinson under pressure inside the edge of the box. And the player goes down very easily, very softly. And it's a throw-in. It looked like the assistant there gave it to Slough somehow, but I can't believe how it was.
Well, he was 60 yards nearer than we were, and nobody argued.
As the ball's crossed in, it just bobbled in front of Somerville. He managed to get it at the second attempt, so just a couple of chances there for Daventry. He rolls it out early now to Fraser on the right side. Got a little bit of space to drive. Ball inside towards Johnnie Dyer. Johnnie Dyer takes a touch, but it's bobbling around on this pitch. Not very easy for either set of players. And a long ball comes through that's going to put Simpson under a little bit of pressure. Simpson back to Somerville, and it bobbled just as Somerville clicked it, and so he sliced it out into row Z, if there was a row Z, and it will be an attacking throw to Daventry on the far left-hand corner. So we have now played approximately about 13 minutes of this first half. It remains Daventry 0, Slough Town 0. Goals in some of the other games in the division, as Ed Smith's putting a bit of pressure on Dolman there, and a long ball through, and there's a little bit of confusion there at the back between Woos and Somerville with a long bouncing ball, but it comes to nothing as Somerville does finally decide that he will claim it and now sets up for a long kick forward.
I think Luke Keane there was looking to get that, but it bounced too high for him as well, so it was good judgment from Slough.
Flick for George Short there in midfield, doesn't come off, and now Daventry have the opportunity to attack. They're advancing over the halfway line on the left with Howell on the ball. Howell with Short and Fraser in attendance, and concedes the throw in. Howell doing well there, just working the ball down the left, and Blake will come forward, the left back for Daventry, to take a throw as Slough just trying to organise what exactly is going on in the box. Long throw into the box. Players underneath it, but Simpson wins the first initial header, then helped out by Fraser, but hooked back in by Ryan Howell, but then cleared once more, and Johnnie Dyer's looking at it, but it breaks again to Daventry. Daventry now mounting a little bit pressure on here on Slough, and they need to be watchful as into the box breaks a Daventry player, but out comes Woos to block it up. That was a very useful run by Beckley, made a lot of ground there and cut inside, and his shot was well blocked in the end by Woos, but he stepped past two Slough players there. That
was good defending from Woosley as well, because that was a shot on target. Probably Jake would have saved it, but it was a very, 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 very good defending. He read that very well.
First corner of the game to be taken by Husband on the far side. The wind just picks up here, which you might be able to hear in our microphone slightly. And Slough are just organising who's picking up who. There's a man unmarked on the edge of the box. As the low corner comes in, easily cleared by McClurg at the first far. Ed Smith underneath it, but just gets shoved off the ball slightly, and not too happy about that, as Blake and him just have a little word with each other, as then Ryan Parsons quickly runs up wants to kind of step up the pace a little bit as the sun flashes out across this on our left, and the Slough voices come out again.
Another wasted pass forward there, I'm afraid. That went on the far side, straight through to the Daventry keeper, Richard Morris. Need to settle down. Neither side's really settled down.
No, I think the pitch isn't helping them, and also the tension. I think both teams are aware of how important this is. As Woos goes up above the Daventry player and wins the ball in the air. Ball breaks to Fraser. Fraser, nice little push, and that looked like Simpson left his feet earlier, but won the ball against Dyer. Dyer now tracking back, but the ball's out on the left, and Husband's underneath it with Blake, and Blake is now set up to take the throw. Blake throws the ball up to Robinson, but Simpson on his shoulder as ever, wins the ball, and it's then hooked clear by McClurg, and Ed Smith after it, but he was starting from offside position, so the play will be brought back, and we've had 16 minutes of this first half. It remains Daventry Town 0, Slough Town 0. No real golden chances yet.
There's not really, but it's been a far better game than last week, to be honest. Last week was pretty dire for 70 minutes. At least we've had some chances, we've had better skill from both sides. The keeper's just putting the ball down now about 15 yards inside his own half, midfield, as everybody's moving up. Slough defending.
As the wind picks up again, it's in Daventry's faces at the moment. They're looking into the sun off to our left, but there's plenty of cloud around on this bright afternoon as the keeper kicks the ball forward. Woo's underneath it, but George Short raises well and wins it again. Johnnie Dyer tries to bring the ball, but the ball bounces just away from it. Looks like Daventry have settled down to the bounce of the ball a little bit clear as Ryan Parsons launched the ball forward, which will have Ed Smith interested, and Ed Smith up against Dolman, but Dolman comes out better, hooks the ball clear, and now it's just flicked on, and Daventry settling on the ball a little bit better, and Woos flicks the ball forward to Smith. Smith now, McClurg with a second in midfield, clips the ball through to the left wing channel with Johnnie Dyer on it. Johnnie Dyer's just standing up, but harmlessly out, and it looks like Johnnie Dyer there felt that he got caught in the face, so he just felt that Simpson was very strong, and Johnnie Dyer was putting him under a bit of pressure and just hold his face as if a flailing arm caught him.
I think that's 6.5. I doesn't know the other, to be honest with you, John. I don't think there was anything in that. Simpson just harried the ball out on the far side, the far right hand corner to us. I don't think there was anything in that, to be fair.
No, the result is a goal kick to Daventry. We 17 minutes into this first half here. Good to hear that people are getting behind the Fowler appeal still and trying to raise some money for him. And nice to hear where you're listening through all over the world. I know we've got people in the Netherlands, we've got people sometimes in Finland, obviously South America. Please tell us where you are and what you're doing, and if this is your first time, welcome along. As McClurg has a speculative effort with a bouncing ball from all of 40 yards, but it's safely into the hands of Morris, and Morris now staring into the sun in his bright red kit, just drops the ball down in his banana pineapple yellow boots and is looking for options. There's plenty of noise in there. Confu in the centre of midfield seems to be telling him what to do. Ball driven to the right, and once again Robinson and Simpson are having a hell of a battle, but Simpson comes through the back and wins the ball well. Ball bobbling around, and George Short aims a long ball through, but it's a little bit aimless, and it's harmlessly through to Morris again. Not much pattern in the game yet, Mick.
There's not a great deal of pattern. I say it's still better than last week, but that was just well over the heads of everybody. Usain Bolt wouldn't have got hold of that one. It was far too far forward for Ed.
You and your Usain Bolt, eh? As the ball lofted forward by Morris, headed by Woos, but ball draws to Slough. There's arguments on the Daventry bench about that, but Ryan Parsons comes away with the ball just on halfway line and tries to clip a ball centred towards McClurg. McClurg putting Dolman under pressure, and Dolman just clears the ball long out on the halfway line. And for this first 15 or 20 minutes, the ball's probably spent as much time off the pitch as it has on it, Mick.
Yeah, it's bouncy. It's a little bit like Beaconsfield's last week. It is very, very hard by the looks of it. I mean, it's in excellent condition, to be fair to them. It's a sports centre here, so you've got five-a-side pitches and all sorts going on round. But it's a lovely facility and a cracking clubhouse, to be fair.
As the ball's out on the right now with Fraser, a little bit of time, passes it upfield to Warren Harris, midway inside the Daventry half. Two players on them, but Warren Harris going down into the right-hand corner, tries to get a cross away, and the ball's blocked, and it's Slough's first corner down on the right-hand corner, and the Slough fans behind the goal, which there must be, I would say, somewhere around 70 or so, break into voice. And
Warren Harris taking it.
And left at the back, Daventry are only keeping one player up from this, that's Luke Keane, and back is Fraser and Parsons as there's a move going on in Slough. Plenty of players, edge of the box, buzzing round as Harris drives the ball in. Woos heads it breaks in the ball, and Johnnie Dyer seemed to take an air shot, but the result is it's a goal kick. It was a bit of a mess, isn't there?
It was. I think he might have got a slight touch on it, but there were two or three defenders round him. But that was a good move. That was a very, very good move from Slough there. I wonder if that looks like it's come off the training ground, to be honest, because there were a lot of people in the box there, Simpson and everybody else. They were buzzing around there trying to put the Daventry players off.
Just some big voices coming in and some talk, and Fraser does well, wins a header easily. And Johnnie Dyer holding the ball up, just hooks the ball over Harris's head, and so it's Daventry throw, which Blake will take immediately in front of us. Blake up towards Robinson, who's double teamed there by Fraser and Simpson, but they get the ball away, and then ball bounces to Short in the middle of midfield, and he plays once again quite a long ball through, and it didn't really have much direction. He probably could have had a little bit more time on a touch there, a bit more composure on it there.
Yes, far too hard was that one, but we're still attacking.
And the ball really bouncing around here for a number of players, and Rumbold having a battle in midfield there, but Daventry just win it, and it's now out into the left back position with Parsons interested, and also Beckley on that far right hand touchline, close to the edge of the Slough box, but Parsons gets in a block, but it's only back as far as Wilkinson, the right back. Wilkinson overhit his pass, Beckley couldn't control it, and it's now a Slough throw-in on the far left hand side, midway inside their own half.
Yeah, that wasn't a great stop from Beckley at all there. So we managed to get the throw in on the far side, left-hand corner.
So wherever you're listening, whatever you're doing, let us know. What do you think so far? As Ed Smith's ball's played through, and Ed Smith's now up against Simpson, and there seemed to be a handball there. It looked like that close on, but it just seemed to be a bit of a shove, and Ed Smith putting him under pressure. Ed needs to watch out that he doesn't talk himself into a booking, because we all know that he may get suspended if he does that, but it looked like Simpson moved the ball away. It'd be interesting to see what the referee's thoughts on that were, but nothing doing. It rolled. Simpson got the ball, and all the Slough fans on the far side are signalling to the referee that it isn't the correct position for where the throw should be taken. But Mr. Scrivener's not really had too much to do in a serious way as yet in the game. Has a look and nothing doing. And once again, it looked like Simpson, who isn't enjoying the bounce of the ball at the moment, just got under that and it flicked it towards that far side. The ball bounces through, and Blake now in left back position with Warren Harris underneath him. Very close control. Just. Still seems to be fully charged. Certainly a lot of motivated players out there, Mick.
That was a good tackle from Warren. He came right across there and tackled Josh Blake, but Daventry got the throw just inside their own half.
And Blake with a long throw up towards Robinson. Robinson flicks it on, but Woos gets ahead on it. But no one's tracked with Robinson. Robinson now 20 yards out, tries to pass the ball through to the right to Beckley, but Parsons intercepts and just clears the ball long and high, and now the ball's bouncing around in midfield again. It's not getting down there well, but the ball breaks through, and someone needs to be sharp off his line to stop it at the feet of the on-rushing Robinson, and it remains Daventry Town 0, Slough Town 0. We've played about 23 minutes of this first half.
Good anticipation from Jake.
And Warren Harris has the opportunity to break. It's a flick on from Ed Smith, puts Warren Harris down in the far right-hand corner, tried to keep the ball in, but I think it just lost control, and it's now a throw in to Daventry. But that was a little opportunity there.
Just a little bit too hard for him there.
There's a little bit of edge there, and McClurg in the referee's ear, as Confu is as well. Confu with a caveman-like beard there. He's quite a tall, gangly fella, and it's almost an unfair battle that in the midfield there, Mick, isn't it?
I think he's keeping his eye on it as the referee. I think he's clocked what's going on.
And I think there's a little bit going on off the ball here, just to be aware of.
Yes,
for both times, they're both very competitive, both want to win. And once again, Robinson does a good header on, flicks it on, but George Short, ball at his feet, small ball through to Rumbold, under a lot of pressure there. And Confu does very well, but falls quickly to Fraser immediately. Slough raising the tempo. McClurg has the ball, low ball through to Johnnie Dyer, who gets upended on the edge of the box. The referee playing some sort of advantage, but didn't seem to really get an awful lot of advantage. That was a very hefty challenge there from Simpson on the edge of the box.
I thought that was a free kick. He did come in hard.
And I think the referee did aim to play advantage, but there wasn't a lot of advantage. You've seen other referees pull that back afterwards. But Johnnie Dyer gets up gingerly to his feet, and I think it's going to be a throw into Slough down in the far right corner. And I think the referee's still under a little bit of pressure here as to why to understand why that wasn't a foul. The ball thrown in. Ball gets it back from Harris. Harris tries to cross the ball. Sorry, Fraser tries to cross the ball in, and it's a corner to Slough, which Harris will take. Nice combination there on the right-hand side from Slough. Please contact us at MyFC Rebels Radio or on the either forum and let us know how you're getting on. As Slough voices just can be heard ringing around Communications Park. Corner driven in long towards the back post. Simpson underneath it and Woos, and draw falls to Johnnie Dyer, who left-footed shot on the half volley, gets blocked by Howland. It's now out for a corner on the far side to Slough. Slough squeezing it a little bit here, applying a little bit of pressure. I think they like to be strong at set pieces.
There was a little bit of a Daventry hand went up there from Ashley Robinson, I thought, but
yeah, I did see it hit a hand, but I didn't know whether he got pushed or anything like that.
I thought he might have done, but we haven't got it. There were no complaints from the Slough players or even the Rebels fans behind the goal, so maybe it wasn't.
No, and some interesting other scores still coming in from the division as Harris stands over this corner, in swinging, far side, drives the ball in, and it comes to the far post, and Simpson hits it. The clearance smacks one of his own defenders in the head, and it's a corner again to Slough on the far side. Slough really applying the pressure here. They need to make this count, but Simpson had almost a free shot at the back post from this worked corner, and unfortunately his shot was going wide of goal, but then one of the Daventry players smacked it against another, and it went out for a Slough throw-in. So this is the third Slough throw-in. 26 minutes gone here at Communications Park. Daventry 0, Slough 0.
That was an excellent chance.
Ball moving around here as Harris, this time with an outswing, far right side, low ball towards the edge of the box, but harmlessly through, and now Fraser picks it up in midway and just drives the ball out towards the right, towards Harris. Harris, first touch, takes the ball well. McClurg drives in a low cross, bounces awkwardly, and is now again another. He's given a goal kick somehow, and it looked like that came off Simpson.
Yes, yeah. Hard to tell who that came off. I think Ed's complaining there.
Johnnie Dyer certainly voicing the fact that he doesn't quite agree with that.
No.
But that was certainly a very interesting decision there, as the referee, Mr. Shriven, is just interestingly brought into the action over these last few minutes, makes a few choices here. So St Ives are still a 0-0 apparently. Barton are down to Barton are 1 up, but down to 10 men as a strong challenge seems to come in there, as the ball's now broken clear to Ed Smith, left-hand edge of the box, 20 yards out, 2 metres near post, touch through to McLeod, back to Ed Smith. Ed Smith left-footed into the edge of the 6-yard box, but left-foot clearance by Simpson. Slough are applying a lot of pressure here. Rumbold now on the ball, out to Parsons, left wing, midway inside the Daventry half. Right-footed cross comes in. Over Simpson, free header from Johnnie Dyer, but can't direct it. Look to be heading it back across Joel to Ed Smith. And once again, Slough need to make this pressure count. Sean Fraser on the right hand side. Daventry just a little bit asleep there from the kick, and once again a corner conceded. Daventry at 6s and 7s here at the moment, but Slough need to apply some pressure and need to make this count really, Mick.
That was excellent from Slough. We're still attacking, we're doing extremely well there, and a great corner to get there.
Movement going on in the box here. Warren Harris clips the ball through in the centre of the goal towards George Short. Ball goes all the way through the box again. Beckley out, but hooks Akira up in the air. Confu's underneath it. Confu heads the ball on. And Sean threads it right to Harris. Blake goes in bravely and concedes the throw-in, which immediately Fraser throws up to the right-hand corner. And Harris tries to keep the ball in, and once again conceded a corner there. They need to make this pressure count, Slough.
That was well done though from Warren Harris. He harassed the defender there, Josh Blake, into taking that ball out. So we've got yet another corner. This is good pressure.
Is this the 5th corner in very short succession?
The 5th one, yeah. They've not been down our end for quite some time.
And we've
got to make one of these
change of corner taker here. Interestingly, they've put on the left-footed Ryan Parsons to go forward and take the corner instead of Warren Harris. So a slight change in tack here. Simpson lining up at the near post with Confu in very close attention. Ball now driven in. Very tall stretch there for Morris, but he does well, claims it amongst a group of players and throws the ball out to right back position, where Confu now, with his long gazelle-like legs, can stride forward. Now over halfway, looks to crossfield ball, but McClurg's underneath it, passes it short, but Confu once again breaks through and carries on his run to the left wing. Did very well there, Confu, but the ball's now with George Short in the left wing position. A little bit of space there, knocks the ball back towards Parsons. Parsons drives a long, hard ball to Ed Smith. Touch just let him down there, and the shin took it away from him. And the ball's now driven to the left, where Robinson will pick it up. Robinson down in the left-hand corner. Crosses the ball in. It's a deep cross. Parsons heads it out towards the right-hand edge of the box, where Beckley is. Beckley standing on the ball with Confu making a run round him. Confu at right-hand edge of the box. Confu drives across cross shot across, I would say, and that is now safely wide. It was very ambitious from a tight angle if that was a shot.
Jake had that coming into the side netting. It was nowhere near the goal. That's the first bit of pressure they've had for a while. We have had the advantage, but we just haven't scored the goal yet. But we're getting there. I think we've had the upper hand in this first half so far.
As there's the kick from Somerville goes over the head of Johnnie Dyer, who just got a little nudge there from Wilkinson as the ball went past them, and the Slough bench are up asking for a free kick. It would have been a soft free kick to give, I would have thought, Mick.
Oh, very soft, yeah. There was nothing in that.
Slough have come into this game in the last 5-10 minutes, and Daventry have stopped winning so much those second balls. But there's a good ball there through Confu. Left-hand edge of the box. Robinson has an opportunity, has a great strike, and it's a goal to Daventry. 1-0 to Daventry, 30 minutes played. And the locals are very happy. So the ball was won through, and Robinson, ball bouncing on the left-hand edge of the box. A rocket shot with Slough nowhere near him. Drove the ball to the right of Somerville and into the top corner.
And that goal means a lot to Daventry. They're all 10 outfield players there congratulating him. It was left free from that cross. The defending was very poor. And he just put a shot across Jake Somerville into his left-hand corner. entry left-hand top corner. There was nothing you could do about that.
And now that will
They
show
need to tighten up, and they don't concede many goals.
And now that the character of Slough will be tested here, because they are now 1-0 down at Daventry, which is a difficult place to score. Daventry only conceded 9 goals all season, and they'd coming at the end of a period of pressure. It kind of came slightly against the run of play, and Confu again winning the battle in midfield against Rumbold and McClurg, and ball breaks through. Now it's Daventry with their tails up, right hand edge of the right midway through the Slough half. Cross comes in. Confu picks it up in midfield. Howe's cross wasn't the best there, but Confi now playing the ball out left to Blake. Harris tracking, midway through inside the Slough half, left-hand edge of the pitch. Plays the ball through down to the corner. Now it's Luke Keane on the ball. Luke Keane coming inside, passes a low ball through in the direction of Confi. Confi takes a touch, gets it caught up amongst his feet, and Slough managed to clear, but it's getting a little bit hasty. It's Johnnie Dyer, midway inside the Slough half. Left ball driven through, but from Johnnie Dyer towards Smith, but Dolman did very well there, just turned. His experience told he was in the right place at the right time. Woos wins a commanding header there as the ball comes through. And once again, Confu's long legs stretch out, the ball down in the left-hand edge with Fraser under pressure. Husband blocks the ball a little bit, and Harris under pressure there as the ball's bouncing around. It's that goal sparked the game into life here, and Daventry now have a lot more confidence and belief, Mick.
Yes, they do. The goal always lifts the team, doesn't it? And they are playing with a little bit more confidence. But that was an aimless pass, straight down. And it's going to have a play for throwing down by our left-hand corner flag on the near side. Dreadful ball.
So Slough just need to regroup now a little bit after this setback, because they were certainly on top there and looking to press, but it's now right up the other end, and very much Daventry in the ascendancy as we speak here. The wind just picks up a little bit. This players shelter themselves from the sun as the ball comes up the line. And there's a pull given against Johnnie Dyer, who concedes the free kick up against Husband, and now it will be a Daventry free kick midway inside the Slough half, but tight to the touchline, but they'll have another opportunity to get the ball into the box. Dunstable, I believe, are 3-0 up. 3-0 up against Aylesbury Utd, so they're coming along very strongly at the moment. And Northwood are also winning at Chalfont, so results at the moment not going Slough's way. Ball driven in high, just held up in the wind, difficult to get underneath it. It's bouncing around in the box, but goes harmlessly through to Somerville, who has an early look because it's 3-on-2 at the back. And Somerville drives the ball out right towards Harris. Harris, beautiful first touch, but unluckily just skips away from it slightly, and Blake has the opportunity, hooks clear, doesn't make any mistake there. And then Keane is battling in there with Sintim. Ball drops to short in the middle of midfield. Flicked on beautifully by Harris in the direction of Ed Smith, but had a little bit too much on it, and it is safely through to Norris. So just a little lull now for a moment, Mick. Yeah,
linesman put his flag up for offside, referees played on, and there can't have been much in that, to be honest, but it was just slightly too far in front of Ed.
Short winning the ball again in midfield, and I think this will suit Daventry at the moment. Just a little moment for consolidation as the ball's spending plenty of time with Morris back in that goal to our right hand side as we look at it. Fine day here at Communications Park. Some of the fans are getting a little bit restless. We've played 35 minutes. It's Daventry Town 1, Slough Town 0. Slough looking to find a way back into the game, and Daventry certainly have had their motivation increased by this goal, as Keane does very well to hold off Fraser in midfield. Now right hand edge of the box, I think it's Beckman on the ball. Beckley on the high and wide and glorious, but held up by the trees behind the goal and down quickly. So Somerville looking to put a bit of pace and injection into it. I think Woos is doing a lot of shout out there, trying to encourage players.
Yeah, we need to just settle down and make sure for these last 10 minutes or so we don't concede another, and hopefully we can get one back.
The ball breaks towards the left back position, Blakely on it, and then a hefty touch from Fraser, and it's all the way through. I think Slough aren't quite adapting quite as well as Daventry to the conditions, and it means that a lot of the balls are going straight through to Morris, and I think that suits Daventry well. The wind just picks up a little bit now in this.
They're overhitting too many. If we can do that in the second half with the wind against, we might be better, but they're overhitting too many into the wind, with the wind behind them.
McClurg touched the touch towards Ed Smith, gets knocked off the ball there, and he's asking what's going on there, because he just flicks the ball through to Ed Smith and then nothing happened. So now Morris once again with the ball at his feet. Long ball into the wind. Simpson underneath it. Gets a shove. Not very subtle from Robinson there, the goal scorer, who gave him a little bit of shove. As Somerville early has a quick look. Drives the ball left out towards Johnnie Dyer, trying to get on the end of Ed Smith flick potentially. But Dolman comes out, wins a commanding header out right. Warren Harris takes it on his knee, which then has Husband wins the ball, clips the ball long forward, which Keane's interested in. Woo's in pursuit. Robinson goes inside, but on the left-hand side, Keane up against Woos, drives across in deep, but Parsons seems to get taken out slightly in the air, but Beckley comes in at the far post, and nothing doing there as the ball drops clear, and now ball on halfway with Johnnie Dyer. Just gets knocked over, but not been Johnnie Dyer's finest half, I don't think, as yet. He's done plenty of energy, but it just hasn't accounted to much, as Parsons gets absolutely killed for pace there, and a dangerous low crossing which Somerville did well to come out clear. That was interesting to see how much pace Beckley had up there against Parsons, and he absolutely skinned him, didn't he, Mick?
Yeah, the cheers you can hear from the Slough fans, handball given there against Ryan Howell, which is pretty obvious. But the move down for Daventry was a good one. Jake was on the ball there to come out and clear it, because there was an attacker coming into the box, so that was quite useful for their point of view. We now have a free kick about 15 yards inside the Daventry half in midfield, and you can probably hear the Rebels fans shouting.
Into the box, deep towards the far post, across goal, and a simple tap-in for Smith, and it's an equaliser for Slough Town. And you can't say it's not deserved after the conceited pressure as Ed Smith draws the sides level on 38 minutes here. And I'm sorry if I'm deafening you at home, but it's quite exciting and I think well deserved. As the free kick came into the far post, lots of players got underneath it, and then Warren Harris drew the ball across, and from 2 yards out, Ed Smith couldn't make any mistake.
Warren did an amazing job there. Came into our near post on this side, flicked it across, and Ed was there to tap it in. An excellent goal, and just what we need, sort of 7 minutes before the interval. That was a brilliant goal. Got us back into the game.
I think it's probably well deserved, although I think Daventry will be slightly aggrieved at the awarding of the free kick. It looked like a handball to me, but it may not be the clearest thing that's ever been given.
Watch the highlights. It was a handball. Guarantee.
Okay. Ball dropping now to Fraser. Long ball through, which Johnnie Dyer is now interested in. Up against Simpson. Simpson knocks the ball through to the right hand side, and it's Slough have got their tails up now, and they have the opportunity to come into the ascendancy a little bit. A ball out on the right hand edge is left-footed crossing by has it on the edge of the box, and Confu absolutely nailed Rumbold there, and Rumbold's slightly limping. He's just asking what's going on there, but there's a free kick in a potentially interesting position now, probably 30 yards from goal, quite central.
I'm not surprised. He just got a foot in his side. That's another obvious free kick.
But no booking, and Confu's just asking and arguing his case. He's just saying, wait for the whistle. The referee, they're talking about the placement, but Jamie McClurg stood over the ball. He's not letting anyone touch that ball. George Short seems to have lined himself up here. Morris looking into the sun now. Daventry Wall making 4 people there, Mick. Edge of the box, just a yard inside the edge of the box.
He's not got a cap on the keeper as well.
So Warren Harris lines up, strikes a low one straight into the lower midriff of the wall. The wall does its job very well, and the ball's cleared out to the right. And Keane is up against Parsons, and Parsons quite cynically held onto Keane quite tightly, didn't want to give that other opportunity. And you might have seen another referee give a booking there, because it was very cynical.
I think the attacker was aware, and I think the expressions, he took one for the team there. He had to do it, because if that forward had got away, I'm not sure we'd have got back quickly enough, to be honest.
In other games, Beaconsfield are losing 2-0 at home to Kettering, and Dunstable are 3-0 up. So other games aren't going the way of these two teams that we're watching here today at Communications Park. As the ball's bubbling around on the edge of the Slough box, need to settle it down. Confer on the ball, but McClurg comes back with a challenge. Wilkinson now passes it out right, and Short closes him down. Lots of trickery there and the ball into Parsons, hits someone in the hand, but all the locals are adamant that it was a free kick, as the ball goes all the way back to Morris, but Johnnie Dyer is starting to put him under pressure, and now Dolman on the ball. Ed Smith in tight touch, but Ball goes out to Wilkinson, and Wilkinson now drives a long ball forward to the right. Both sides looking positive when they attack, and Will's head of experience tries to head the ball back to his keeper, but there was miscommunication, so now give Daventry a very soft corner there. We have played 42 minutes of this first half. It remains Daventry Town 1, Slough Town 1. Daventry going ahead on 30 minutes under Robinson, a thunderbolt of a shot from the left-hand edge of the box, which was then equalised by Ed Smith after a free kick for handball from Slough, was crossed in as it overshot everyone by Warren Harrison. Ed Smith had the simplest of tap-ins for his, what I think is something like his 22nd goal of the season in the league in 24 matches, so his scoring record continues. As the corner's driven in, Dolman at the far post, moving backwards as he headed it, and kind of and looking at it, it didn't get a lot of power, as Somerville quickly picks up the ball and up towards Ed Smith. Simpson, free header, heads it forward, and now Confu underneath it with Rumbold in attention. And the referee gave that, I believe, as for the jump rather than the handball. But now Daventry have a ball, take it quickly out right to Beckley. Beckley, who's had a very strong first half against Parsons, winning that personal battle there, cuts the ball back. But Parsons on this occasion does well and is now getting fouled. And the free kick's awarded to Slough. We are 2 minutes remaining of this first half, as Slough are now happy with what's going on. The manager for Daventry, they're not terribly happy with the decision that's going on there, as Somerville goes up to the far side, 20 yards inside the Slough tower, and will take the free kick.
I think we might settle with this at half time, to be honest with you. I think we're all at half times. A fair reflection. We've had as much of the players they have. And
Rugby are 3-0 up at Marlow, so lots of victories for the top teams today. As Rumbold now battles away with Husband, but Husband does well, tricks him, and immediately down front of us on the left, drives the ball forward towards Keane. Keane just flicks the ball on, and Simpson, who's in immediate attention, kind of got the ball held, and then Fraser refused to give the ball back quick because Daventry were looking to do it, and just now I think might get a talking to, or maybe even a little bit of a booking here, but he's just having a word at the moment from Shriven, and that's all that's doing. And after that Confu kick in the midriff, I think I'll be surprised if this referee actually gets his book out all afternoon, Mick.
But that was a definite handball from Sintim. It bounced up too far and he put his hand instinctively up, so
ball bobbling around in the box, Simpson and Robinson underneath it fighting for it, and the ball's then hooked clear, and it's out for a Daventry throw halfway line. Thrown short, Blake underneath us. It's a bit of after you after me mode with Howell. Clips the ball forward, Keane flicks it on to Robinson, but Simpson's there, wins the ball strong in the air, and now Rumbold, ball bouncing around, gets ahead to it, has a quick touch, pass it to McClurk, who's got time on the ball now, clips the ball forward, and Dolman misses the bounce. Ed Smith has an early speculative effort, but it's harmlessly wide. If only he'd have known that he had a little bit of time and got a bit of a louder shout from Johnnie Dyer, he would have had the opportunity to put Johnnie Dyer clear on the left.
Yes, I don't know whether Johnnie Dyer actually shouted to him or not, but that went harmlessly wide. But Johnny was in a good position on this near side on the right there, could have gone through. There was no one with him.
So, as ever, we're going to be taking a short break at half-time when it comes, but this has been a very entertaining and tense first half. It's currently Daventry Town 1, Slough Town 1. As we approach the half-time, we're about to go into injury time here, and I can't imagine there's been much of that because I haven't seen either of the two trainers come on. Flick forward there by Warren Harris. Warren Harris flicks it through to Shaw. He's on the edge of the box. Shaw volleys it, and a great save from Morris. And Ed Smith now got the rebound down in the far corner. And it's a throw into Slough, but that really was a clear opportunity for Shaw, and he should have perhaps done a little bit better.
He should, but it was actually an excellent save as well. When you see that on the highlights, that was a superb save.
Fraser down in the right hand corner, tries to cross the ball in, gets blocked, and Slough enjoying the ascendancy at the end of this first half of what has been an interesting game of football. I wouldn't say it's been a classic on this pitch, but Ed Smith now finds himself in the box. Shaw, 6 yards out. Ed Smith turns, hits it, but it's blocked. Comes out to Rumbold, edge of the box, takes it into the left channel. Slough really pressing here. Left-footed cross, but cut out by Wilkinson. Edge of the box now. Clerk picks it up, passes it short to Parsons. Parsons skips past Keane. Keane fouls him. Long ball into the area, and the keeper's underneath it. And I think Daventry would now settle for half time.
That will be half time.
And that is half time. Daventry Town 1, Slough Town 1. I would say at the moment it's a fair reflection on the game, wouldn't you, Mick?
Yes, I think we've had slightly the better, and we certainly had that last chance there from George Short. But it was a brilliant save in the end. He could have done better, but it's a bit picky, I think, to say that. it is still still an interesting game. It is 1-1. Who's having a go at the referee there? Oh, Johnnie Dyer's having a go at the referee again.
There's lots. One of the. It looks like one of the coaches from Daventry are just.
He's having a go as well.
Just having a word, and there's plenty of people now.
I can't think why. There's been nothing really.
I think they're talking about the handball. I don't think they quite like the handball or something like that. So
well,
there's plenty of.
If it was a Daventry handball, it was a handball, and when you see it on the highlights, it definitely was. There was one at the far end with Sintin that we gave away. That was a handball. I think Johnnie Dyer had a little chip at the referee for that one, but that was definitely a handball as well. I think the referee's had an excellent game, to be fair to him. I know I am a referee, but he's had a great game. I don't think he's got much wrong, to be fair, and it's certainly a better game than last week. No. Fair results so far, and we're going to look forward to the second half as the subs are on the field just kicking about and warming up now.
Yeah, so some of the other half times in the division while we go through them quickly. Egham 1, North Greenford 0, Uxbridge 0, Aylesbury 0, Dunstable 3, Aylesbury United 0, Potters Bar 1, Ashford 0, Beaconsfield 0, Kettering 2, and we are obviously 1-1 here, but there's plenty of goals in those other games. Rugby are 3-0 up at Marlow, and we will say goodbye for the half, and we will speak to you shortly.
See you later, boys and girls. welcome back to the second half. Apparently I'm a little bit fuzzy. That's not me, that's the microphone, I think. We will be replacing it shortly. Probably ready for next week. Linesmen are out, referees out, both sides are out. I can't see any substitutes at the moment, but I'll let you know. John's rattling away. Are you on the chat room, John? Yeah, John's on the chat room. He's just getting himself organised, getting his headphones back on. Typical Southern, not really organised.
Don't worry, I wouldn't leave you with him.
And yeah, thanks for that, mate. And linesmen will just check the nets.
So yeah, let me just take you through the teams. I don't think there's been any changes at half-time.
No, there hasn't.
I know some of the Daventry coaching staff weren't particularly happy with the referee, Mr. Shriven, at half-time. I think potentially over a penalty incident or a ball hitting hand in the box, Slough box for Daventry. We seem to be about ready to get underway. I'll just quickly take you through the home team of Daventry, wearing purple, purple and purple, and shooting in this half from left to right. We have Morris in goal. Number 2, Ollie Wilkinson. 3, Josh Blake. 4, Marcel Simpson. 5, and captain Liam Dolman. 6, Adam Confu. 7, Michael Beckley. 8, Ryan Howell. 9, Ashley Robinson. 10, Luke Keane. And 11, James Husband. And on the bench we have number 12, Josh O'Grady. 13, Ash Deeney. 14, Tommy Berwick. 15, Ross Alton. And 16, Tom James. As we're underway here, but the ball's immediately out of place, so I'll just take you through the Slough team. They're wearing their amber, navy and amber because they would obviously clash in their normal away teams. And they have in goal number 1, Jake Somerville, 2, Sean Fraser, 3, Ryan Parsons, 4, Dan Simpson making his second appearance, 5, Dave Woosley, 6, Lee Rumbold, 7, Johnnie Dyer, 8, James McClurg, 9, Ed Smith, 10, George Short, and 11, Warren Harris. And it's 1-1, fairly even first half. Slough had a good amount of opportunity, including a great opportunity after about 43 minutes, just before half time, which George Short forced a great save out of Morris after being played through. But Daventry opened the scoring after 30 minutes with Robinson hitting a thunderbolt from the left-hand edge of the box, which Somerville had no chance with on the half volley, and Ed Smith equalised in the 38th minute. Free kick given for a hand ball in centre field was clipped long by Parsons with his left foot, went over all the players. Warren Harris picked it up on the right, drilled a low ball across, and Ed Smith was on hand for 2 yards out to not make any mistakes and tap the ball out. You haven't missed anything here in the second half. It's a very nice sunny day. The sun is to the left of us, and the trees' shadows are just starting to come across the Daventry half, which they're defending. Slough playing right to left, and a good number of Rebels have followed them here today. But I think they're all hidden out of view at the moment in a different stand, Mick, if I understand it correctly.
Yes, the sun gone behind the goal to our left.
As the ball breaks forward, and Ed Smith hoists the long ball through to McClegg inside of the box, but it rolls harmlessly out for a goal kick. And Slough a little bit in the ascendancy, and the Daventry players are incensed. And the Slough fans down in the stand to our left, underneath where we are on a raised balcony here at Daventry. Across from opposite us, there are the 2 dugouts slightly spread out, probably 15 yards either side of the halfway line, a small stand over the far side, horses in the field, and then some small kind of goals types football pitch, if you know what I'm on about, to the right behind the pitch. And we're on a balcony of a very nice clubhouse. Amazing facility here, Mick.
It is, thank goodness it's sunny and not raining, otherwise we wouldn't be up here. But it's an excellent view. We've got right across the changing rooms underneath us, a fabulous view.
The pitch is very bubbly, very bouncy, not a great footballing pitch, and it seems that Daventry are quite used to it and trying to get the ball forward very early, Mick.
Yes, we've got it back, so we're not too bad now at the moment.
The ball's played out to the right by Johnnie Dyer, long crossfield ball to Warren Harris, and Warren Harris up against Ed Smith, who Simpson had Ed Smith in the back, and Simpson's in trouble now, I think probably for persistent fouling. He's going to have a word with Mr. Shriven, the referee, who didn't award any bookings in the first half. I think this will be the first booking of the game, and I think Marcel Simpson is now not going to get away with this, the centre-back.
I think he's just had a word and told him it's his last one. But it was very, very cynical, was that, straight into Ed's back and just knocked him off his feet. So we've got a free kick 15 yards outside the box on the far side, level with the
and McClurg stood over the ball, Simpson forward, Woos forward, George Short with his height forward, Ed Smith standing close towards the penalty box, Daventry trying to get onto the edge of the 18-yard box. McClurg stands over it, right foot, outswinger, clips the ball in. Woos seemed to get bundled to the floor there, but Confu hooks the ball clear with the left foot and Keane after it, but now Sean Fraser skips past King, clips the ball there. Ed Smith now up against Blake on the far left-hand corner, and Blake puts boot to ball with, shall we say, a degree of physicality rather than finesse, and it's now out of play for a Slough throw on the far right. And Fraser has a throw immediately in front of the Daventry dugout, 15 yards inside the Daventry half on the far side, and the referee's just been a little bit pernickety here about exactly where the free kick's where the throw is going to be taken through. Simpton in acres of space, gives it back to Fraser. Fraser back to Simpton, just passing the ball short there. Simpton left-footed ball up towards George Shaw. Ed Smith in the box, tries to turn, held back. Paul held back. It looked there by Fordham and by Dolman, sorry, and Ed Smith managed to wriggle his way free, get to foot to ball, but Morris was on top of him, and Morris pulled off a fine save, which then was scrambled around the box, and Johnnie Dyer just couldn't get on the edge of. Ball. What did you make of that, Mick?
I think the defender pulled him back, but I don't think he did quite enough to give a penalty away. But as they say, I've seen them given. But hey ho, it's gone out now for a goal kick. Oh no, it's a throw-in to Slough right by the far right-hand corner flag to us. But yes, I have seen those given. Ed was obviously incensed, as any forward would be.
So yeah, there was a good bit of interplay there, and George Short did very well to dummy the ball through, let Ed Smith run through, and he was under pressure from Dolman, and Dolman just seemed to give him a little tug boot, but Ed held his strength and desire and went through to try and hold the ball on the ground, literally hooked the foot into it, and now the ball goes through as Blake misses the ball, and the keeper's slightly out, and on the edge of the box, played ball just behind McClurg, and the momentum goes out of the break as Berkeley seems to try and wrestle McClurg to the ground as the ball's now on the left-hand side. Parsons overlapping. Right hand, left hand edge of the box, big clearance with his right foot. Rumbold flicks the ball through, and Slough are in the ascendancy here in the start to the second half. Come out this change room's a little bit brighter. Had a couple of opportunities and are certainly putting Daventry under pressure to see what they're made of. As Fraser on the far side now with a throw at his feet.
That was well read by Dolman as well to clear it.
No one moving very much in there, and the referee has given a foul throw. Actually, sorry, the assistant linesman on the far side has given a foul throw, which might take away the momentum slightly. The clouds have now come in. It's getting a little bit greyer and a little bit darker in here, and we'll have to see how this now develops, whether Daventry can come back a little bit and are going to show some strength. Blake on the far side with the throw-in. Looks to throw it up the line long. Rumbold underneath it. Ed Smith now. Warren Harris having a little run down the right-hand side, taking on Blake, skinning Blake, and then getting utterly fouled. And at some point the referee has got to get his book out here, because it's just persistent at the moment. Now there seems to be foul after foul after foul. And I think that the referee at some point will get his book out, but he's just at the moment. There's Slough another free kick. It's on the far right-hand edge of the box, which McClurg will take, and Simpson's making his way forward, as is Woos, edge of the box.
He won't stand for that much longer the way it's going. He will be taking a name before too long. He didn't have a word with the defender then, but I think he will shortly.
So McClurg over the ball. Long ball towards the back stick. Simpson underneath it. Woos comes and gets it. Inside the edge of the box. Harris driven shot. Great goal for Slough. Come on! So Warren Harris from the edge of the box through a ricochet of players. And the keeper's going mad at the linesman for I do not know what. But they're all chasing after. They're all chasing after the referee. I have no idea why they're chasing after the referee.
Referee's going over to the linesman to see what was wrong. But it's still going to be a goal. Oh no, wait a minute.
And
no, it's still a goal. It's still a goal.
So
I don't know what they were complaining about.
7 minutes gone in the second half. And
Josh Blake's putting his knee up there to say there was some sort of foul.
I think the keeper's now talked his way into the book stupidly, because he was really protesting. I'm not sure what against. And yes, Mr. Shriven's lost his patience there with Morris, and he'll be the first booking after 7 minutes of the second half. So we have played 52 minutes here at Communications Park. It's Daventry Town 1, Slough Town 2.
I honestly couldn't see anything wrong with that. There were massive bodies in there. The ball came out. It was a lovely goal, straight through the wall, straight through the defence. Maybe took a deflection. Keeper didn't see it. It's 2-1.
So Warren Harris again follows up his assist in the first half with a goal early in the second half. So goal in 52 minutes. And the ball's up, played actually up close to us there by the right back Wilkinson. And so it's now key that Slough keep this momentum going. Parsons down in front of us, throws up the line towards Johnnie Dyer. Johnnie Dyer with Wilkinson on his back, heads out for a throw in to Slough. And we have played approximately about eight and a half minutes of the second half here. Daventry Town 1, Slough 2. Ball in the Daventry half at the moment, bouncing around in the air in their right back position. Dolman, workman-like clearance there, which Woos gets underneath, beats Keane to the ball, and now the ball's bobbling around and Short's on it. Little touch through, too hard to Simpson. Simpson clips the ball towards the right back position, but now Daventry have the opportunity to attack on the halfway. Berkeley on the ball. Ball too long, which Somerville will come out and take easily, and just restore a little bit of peace here for a moment as Slough look to maintain the advantage.
That was just a little too far for them there. We defended it quite well. I can't see anything wrong with the goal at all, but we shall see on the highlights.
And after only conceding 6 goals in many games at home, Daventry have now conceded 5 already in two games, which haven't been complete. There was some nice movement off the ball there between Harris and Rumbold and there's a great knock there to Ed Smith, left-hand edge of the box after Rumbold did well. Ed Smith inside the box, skips past him. Ed Smith across the goal, but a great block there by Wilkinson. And Slough are really on top here and need to make this advantage count, because you feel that Daventry will come back into this.
Beat the keeper beautifully there, took it on his outside, but that was excellent defending. The defender read that one and cleared it away for a corner, but we're still in the ascendancy.
So there is a corner to Slough, far left-hand corner. There's some hands in the way on the monitor, so we can't quite see exactly who's going to be taking it, but I suspect it's Warren Harris.
Yeah.
Ball lofted in towards the back post. The referee awards a free kick. Not a lot. Dave Woosy's protesting his innocence, and Confu didn't seem to think there was much in it, as now just relieves the pressure a little bit for Daventry as the clouds come in. The afternoon just gets a little bit cooler. We've played 10 minutes of the second half. Remains Daventry Town 1, Slough Town 2 in this critical game in the Cala League. Third playing fourth. Good header there by Parsons, but you don't feel that's the last goal that's going to come in today's game as the ball's clipped through towards Keane. Woos makes his way across under pressure from Fraser as well. Cuts the ball back, but no doing there as Somerville comes out, but great strength from Keane there.
Excellent defending as well. George Short was in there as well. That was the two of them put him off very, very well, and well taken by Jake.
And the ball's just bobbling around. The pitch is still quite bouncy. Harris throws it back to Fraser on the far right. Harris takes a touch, but a heavy touch, and Simpson doesn't look that stylish at the back, to be honest, today. He's physical, not practical, and the ball's now bouncing around, and it's still not come to rest. It's still lots of head tennis around, but Parsons attacks it and clips the ball forward. McClurg's underneath it. Ed Smith, edge of the box, turns, flicks it left towards Johnnie Dyer, who just gets beaten, but in a good strong tackle by Wilkinson, and Daventry have the opportunity to come away with Confu midway inside his own half, cuts the ball inside. Ball now played up to Robinson's feet, but Woos is wise to it and just stands behind. Ball ricochets and is out for a throw into Slough. This is still going to maintain to be a stern test here. 11.5 minutes gone in the second half. Slough Town leading 2-1 at Daventry. Long throw up the line, comes off Parsons. Keane now with Simpson in attention, but the ball breaks to McClurg, centre of the park, flicks it past his man challenging, but then it doesn't come to anything. Short clips on, but now Bully on the ball for Daventry, clips the ball long, but Parsons, this isn't really getting under control at the moment, and a long ball through now, which has Dolman looking over his shoulder, but once again composed and does well. Now Confu, centre of the park, short ball, looks for the return, but ball now out right to the right back, their out ball to Ollie Wilkinson inside his own half, left-footed ball down the line towards Beckley. Beckley tries to come inside Parsons, but good challenge off to Short, and now Short sets Warren Harris free, centre of the park, running with a little bit of space in front of him, cuts inside again, on a run, lost confidence. Warren Harris has another shot and a great save by Morris, but the ball's not cleared. It's out right to Johnnie Dyer, drives the ball back towards the edge of the box. George Short has a shot, but it's gone wide, and Slough on top here at Communications Park. 12 minutes gone in the second half. It remains Daventry Town 1, Slough Town 2.
Yet another shot on target, and yet another good save from the keeper. He's earned his money today. That's 2 he could have had there.
Morris certainly has pulled out a few decent saves. There was one in the end of the first half from Short, and he's certainly been involved. He's the first player in the book as well, which was a bit silly. He didn't really need to get booked, did he, Mick?
No, but you open your mouth to the referees, you get done for it.
Good flick on there by Dyer, and Dyer then seemed to upend Simpson, which is probably in return for all those other ones. Dolman takes a quick free kick out right to Ollie Wilkinson. Wilkinson advancing on the right back position over the halfway, shut down by Rumbold. Rumbold goes to block it. A long ball through to the right corner, which Robinson's after. Robinson's all reach. Simpson in close attendance, right edge of the box. Passes it back to Berkeley. Pass it back now to Wilkinson. Wilkinson drives the ball in, drops on the edge of the box to Robinson. Robinson turns, lines up a shot, but Simpson blocks it. Away by Parsons, the header. Slough under pressure. And a come through, attacks the ball, comes ahead of McClurg. Now out right to Husband. Husband up against Warren Harris. Warren Harris still twisting and turning. Husband still now under pressure. 2 players on him. Pops the ball out to the left. Ball comes in. Woos heads it clear. Slough under pressure here. Rumbo, great header on. Finds Johnnie Dyer. Johnnie Dyer now right out to McClurg. McClurg back to Fraser, and Slough will actually have the opportunity to clear and strike a long ball through, but there's no one really pursuing. Ed Smith's after it though, with good effort there to try and close this down, because Daventry had a few chances there.
Yeah, and Ed ran 40 yards to put the keeper under pressure there as well. So we're still in the ascendancy, and hopefully with 3 games in 8 days, Daventry might well tire before too long.
Let's just remind you, if you want to contact us at all, please contact at MyFC Rolls Radio, or go onto one of the forums, or either the MyFC forum or the Slough Town forum as well. We will have a look at both of them during the game when we can, but tweet us and let's see what's going on. You haven't missed anything. There was a long kick through from the keeper to keeper, which Somerville picked up, and now the ball's bobbling around in midfield, which George Short picks up a ball, flicks it through to Johnnie Dyer, but Simpson, good battle up there, good battles all over the pitch. Rumble now knocks the ball forward towards Ed Smith in the right back position, but Wilkinson, very strong game from him, wins the ball. It then ends up at Morris's feet, and Morris has the ball in the edge of his penalty area, ball on the foot with his bright yellow boots, kicking from the left position in his goal area, long ball forward, but Woos is underneath that all day, beats Robinson, now to George Short, who flicks the ball on. Ed Smith flicks it in the direction of Johnnie Dyer, centre field, in the D, but doesn't get enough on the ball, and Simpson's now then on the ball. Drops to Rumble, but Rumble to Confu. Confu overhits the pass, and it will harm rolelessly through to Somerville.
Far too far. I think nobody
Mick, can you keep an eye? I think Daventry are going to make a couple of subs here. This might be interesting, and we'll have to see who this is, but they're certainly using their squad here. I think they're seeing that after 15 minutes of the second half, they need to make some changes here, and just let's bring some new ideas onto this.
14 looks like it's coming on. It's either 9 or 6.
Somerville clears the ball. Looks like Johnnie Dyer underneath it, but George Short getting lent off the ball, but does well. George Short again underneath it with Berkeley. Just stood at him, but just unfortunately just gave away a little bit of an early free kick there, but playing better in the second half, Short. And the referee is not paying attention to the linesman, who's signalling frantically for the double substitution here by Daventry after 15 minutes of the second half.
Ryan Howell's coming off, number 15, who is
Ross Alton coming on.
That's the first one.
Okay.
2 subs.
I didn't see who the other sub was though, but I know that Ryan Howell came off for Ross Alton. Do we know who the other sub was?
Luke Keane.
Luke King.
Luke Keane's come off, and number 14's come on.
Tom Berwick. Okay. And the ball's down in the far right hand side with immediately the ball. Tom Berwick's first job is that he's caught offside on the far right hand side, so he's had an early touch of the game, albeit from an offside position, and Slough will be happy with that. Doesn't seem to be a lot of activity on the Slough bench at the moment.
There's nothing at the moment. The subs are just sat there. I think the managers are quite happy with the way it's going at the moment, to be fair to them. 2-1 up, and we're in the ascendancy.
Long ball forward from Somerville, which again Simpson, masterful in the air, beats Dyer too, but comes back out to Short to Parsons on the halfway, just in front of us. Looks like a long chip ball forward to John Dyer with Dolman at his back, flicks it inside, Warren Harris picks it up in the box, and Blake comes all the way across, clears it with his wrong foot, and out for a Slough throw-in. Slough applying pressure. We've played about 18 minutes of this second half. It remains Daventry Town 1, Slough Town 2.
By the looks of it. Or is he going to leave it to Ryan Parsons? Oh, he's leaving it to Ryan Parsons. Down in this left-hand corner, it's Ryan Parsons with the throw-in.
Short throw taken. Back to Parsons. Parsons drives the cross across towards the deep. There's no one there. McClurg after it, but a long clearance by Blake up and under, which Simpson is beaten to, and Somerville comes 15 yards out his box and clears it well off his shin. George Short up there well with the ball, and Wilkinson gets the ball clear to Parsons. Parsons puts an interesting ball through, which is dealt well with by Simpson. Ball bounces over Confer, and George Short on the edge of the box, but just getting his pocket pick there by Alton, who did well to battle back there. Alton passes out left to Blake. Daventry have the opportunity to now come away with the ball, or are they going to play the ball long initially?
George was just about to pull the trigger there as well.
Simpson, this time up well in the right back position and hooked clear by Fraser. Bounces over Blake, touch from Ed Smith, but there's no other player forward. It looks like the Slough forwards are perhaps running out a little bit of gas. They've done a lot of work this half. As Johnny Dyer's now out on the left here with Parsons up against, but does well, but Beckley jumps up well, comes inside, and George stands up, blocks the ball off, but Beckley looks like an absolute bright spark here for Daventry. He's certainly been one of the players. So Daventry throw midway inside the Slough half and thrown out, and the ball out harmlessly for a goal kick to Slough. Slough will be happy with this. They just want to take a little bit of pressure out of the game, just ease it off a little bit, Mick.
Beckley he's had a very good game for Daventry on this right hand side. Very, very good game. I will not say he's the man of the match, but he's a contender. Jake's wasted a bit of time there, decided to put the ball down on the left hand side of his goal there, and then thought, no, I'll walk across the right just to waste a little bit of time.
So both teams remain at 4-4-2 formations, with the two substitute, Alton going in the middle for Howell in the centre of the park, and Keane's replacement Berwick just naturally going in up front. He's returned down and scored in his debut. Long ball through, and once again Simpson up well and wins the ball, and then Berwick just follows through a little bit on Fraser there after the ball's gone, and the referee spotted it, so it's a free kick to Slough, 2 yards inside their own half. They're not in any hurry to take it at the moment.
Neither would I be at 2-1 ahead.
And Slough aren't committing a huge amount of players. Simpson with it. Somerville now happy to stay back for these free kicks. He's not pushing forward. Rugby are now only 3-2 up against Marlow at Marlow, so they've dropped that. Simpson's ball forward. Short flicks it on edge of the box, but it didn't quite fall for Dyer, and now it's through to Morris, who's now got a lot more impetus in what he's doing. He's running around the edge of his box, and he's going to shortly take a kick and clear it long. Under Parsons underneath it. Parsons heads the ball with some interest back up the line. Similarly from Wilkinson. Jamie McClure picks it up well. Great touch by Ed Smith, just takes it away, and Blake clears it almost up to us, and he's given it as a Slough throw-in. Slough throw-in 10 yards into the Daventry half. Down to us. Parsons will take it. The travelling Slough support make a little bit of noise here. There's not too much to shout about right at the moment. It's getting very tense out here, and Daventry are coming back into the game. Confu on the ball, right hand side, hooks a long ball through, which Woos is after, but Berwick's in attendance, but Woos will hook it clear with his left foot, and it's going to hit me. It has hit me. I've got the ball. There we go.
Well saved there, John. Well saved.
I had the ball there for a minute, and I didn't stop play or hold it up. I could have done. I could have thrown the ball away, but I didn't want to do that. I don't think that would make friends with anyone. But the ball still remains. I might get beaten up. The local cameraman is threatening me already. They've been very accommodating. I jest, but that's one of the first balls out of the ground today. Not like at Beaconsfield, where every other ball goes out of the ground. We played 22 minutes of the second half. It remains Daventry 1, Slough 2. We can play loads of halves if you like, Mick. Cross comes in. Somerville chooses to punch when a catch might be easier. Dolman picks it up edge of the box, takes a couple of touches, looks for some opportunities. Back to Alton. Every Slough player at bar Ed Smith behind the ball. Alton on the right hand side drills another cross towards the back stick. Good header clear by Simpson. Ball dropping to Harris, and Harris will pick up the ball and has a little run at Dalton. And now Alton's Berwick's having a good old flick at him, but through to Ed Smith, and touches the ball through to Johnny Dyer, and Johnny Dyer seems to be in, but well selected by Morris, and that seemed to be a very well timed run there because he was bang in line. The linesman was well up with play, and Morris now clears the ball through. This game's much more. Woos, free header out to the left. George Short just hooks the ball down into the right back position, harmlessly outplay, and Slough will now take a breather and consolidate for a moment.
That was a lovely through ball from Ed there, just that fraction too hard. And to be fair, the keeper came out towards the edge of his box and smothered it. But that was a cracking little move. We could have gone 3-1 up there.
Good little interplay there from Slough on the attack, and if Daventry commit more players forward, you might fancy Slough to pick them off. There's some more action on the ropes with Blake coming off. So Blake replaced by number 12 O'Grady, and Johnny Dyer's done his work now halfway through the second half, and Harris is on for Johnny Dyer 23 minutes through the second half. he's done a good day's work, but he's come on, and now hopefully let's see if Scott Harris can put himself about a bit and just chase that away. As immediately Josh O'Grady comes down to almost immediately in front of us. It might be a slight change in formation here. It'll be interesting to see how they go, but it looks like they may have put Jake Husband back to left back from left. Jake Husband's been put back from left midfield. Flick on by Robinson into the far right corner, and then ball flicked too, but Parsons underneath it with the brand new player on the pitch, Josh O'Grady, who seems to come into a wide right position on it. So Daventry have played all their cards. 22 minutes left of this second half. Early cards played here, but we'll have to see how this develops as ball comes out on the right back position. Daventry attacking, ball driven into the box. Somerville comes a long way, drops the ball, but hooked clear by Harris, and then hooked even further clear by McClurg. Added with some interest in the Husband, but Simpson attacks the bouncing ball, falls to Confu, edge of the box. The ball bobbling around here. Slough got some players back behind the ball now, and Somerville with interest hits it at Warren Harris, who's never going to win in the air against Confu, but Rumbold there now underneath it. George Short now underneath it. Still hasn't hit the ball. Head tennis now. Comes out to the right back position to Josh Wilkinson. Plays it forward. Ryan Parsons with his right foot. George, long clearance through. Ed Smith after it up against Dolan, who's clear as you like. Gentle little pass out. As Daventry are now putting a bit of pressure on. There's a man coming on the back of him, and he's just been told early enough in time to beat Berwick away. And Parsons, ball up the line. Scott Harris flicks the ball on, gets a few extra yards, but the ball goes out of play. Slough now under a little bit of pressure here, Mick.
I thought there was a little push on Scott there, but we didn't get it, so hey-ho, we carry on. Daventry coming back into it just at the moment. They've got seem to have a fresh pair of legs with the subs they've made. We need to concentrate now.
And Simpson makes no mistake with that as the ball gets driven down the right flank, and Robinson was in attendance, so Simpson just puts the ball safe, and Husband will come out forward now in his left back position to take the throw in. Alton buzzing around in the middle of midfield, has the ball back, gives it back to Husband, who's up against Harris now. Harris tries to block the initial ball. Robinson edge of the box, comes into the edge of the box, but some stepping over, passed out the edge of the box. Alton has a terrible shot that nearly goes out for a throw. I think it did go out for a throw.
It is actually a throw. It was dreadful. Gone out on the near side.
I'll give him that it bobbled just in front of him, but he did have a little bit of a slice at it, and it did actually go out for a throw. I think we've all done that, Mick.
Yeah, I think we have actually.
So it's a defensive throw to Slough right down in the far right hand corner, which Simpson with his slightly longer throw will take. We've played 25 minutes plus in the second half. Daventry Town 1, Slough Town 2, with Ed Smith scoring and Warren Harris getting a goal and an assist. As George Short's just fouled in front of us, the natives are getting a little bit more the natives are getting a little bit restless here as time progresses and the tension mounts. And there's calls for the ref to speed them up from all the new players. And so some of us is saying, you don't go and take it. Parsons is taking the front. It's literally down in front of us, so 10 yards inside the Slough half. Parsons on the ball, looking to clear it up into the channel. Scott Harris underneath it. Scott Harris heads the ball back well to Short. Short after it in the left wing position. Got a little bit of time here now to pick a cross. Crosses the ball towards the back stick. Controlled in the area. Out to the right back position. Ed Smith low ball across. Dolan deals with it well and clears. And now it's Daventry to attack on the counter with Beckley in the left wing position up against Rumbold and Fraser. And Fraser does well to get a challenge in. Beckley then continuing his good game in full flight down there, but now on the left wing, and very interesting and exciting to see when he's on the ball. Yeah,
that was good defending as well, because he has been the danger man for Daventry, to be fair, I think.
A very fluid formation now as the ball comes out to the right back position with Ollie Wilkinson for Daventry. Midway inside the Slough half. Now ball through to the edge of the box. George in attendance. Short stands up and just gets overrun. Ryan Parsons on the ball. Just looks for a little ball. Got a little bit of time and space. A little bit more than he needs. And he clips the ball long into space, which Ed Smith will chase after it. Dolan's going to pick the ball up deep inside the Daventry own half. And now it's back to the goalkeeper. Edge of his own D. Chips the ball forward. And George is up against it. Robinson flicks the ball on, and Parsons is up against it, and Woos manages to hook the ball clear. George under a little bit of pressure, middle of midfield. Touch from Confu, runs straight over the player and then runs over Rumbold, but the ball breaks out for Warren Harris, and Warren Harris in pursuit. Warren Harris keeps on running but runs the ball out, And it's now a throw-in to Daventry. And once again, the Daventry bench are up in arms. They're not very happy here.
That was good defending again by Beckley, because he harassed Warren to put the ball out there. So that was very good defending from him.
Throw-in. Doesn't amount to much. And Scott Harris in against Simpson in the middle of the park. And Simpson having a chop. And Harris having a little chop. They just need to calm it down in there, as Alton keen to get on with the game quickly. As Husband, 10 yards inside his own half, now playing left back for Daventry, places the ball. Be a free kick which they're going to look to hit long. Drive the ball long, but short in acres of space. Clips along the ball forward, and two Slough attackers are after it. Harris is up against Dolan. And Harris shows his strength, but Dolan just tries to get a touch on it. It's down in the far left-hand corner. Dolan slips at the critical moment, but just knocks the ball out of play for a throw into Slough.
Dolman uses experience there.
He was very good and very strong. Dolman's had a very good game, I think, so far.
Yes, he has. He's a big lad, but he uses experience well.
And Parsons doesn't appear to be in any hurry as he's jogging down, bobbling with the ball. And we have now played 29 minutes of the second half. We have 16 minutes plus injury time remaining. Ball taken short. Parsons in the far left-hand corner just wins the throw there off Confew again. Slough are quite happy to take the pace out of the game and keep it down in that corner.
I'm not sure my nerves will stand this, John.
Woos hooks the ball into the air. Now needs to get back quickly, but Simpson up to cover. And Woos takes off Berwick off the ball. And the referee has actually given it to Berwick. And Berwick is now in pressure. And Berwick is swearing at the referee. He's not at all happy with that decision there. And he needs to stop talking. He's talked himself into a booking. So the only two bookings of the game have both been from mouth rather than action. So interesting. So that's a booking 30 minutes into the second half. So we've played 75 minutes here at Communications Park. Woos was in all sorts of a tangle off the ball. And the natives are getting ever more restless as the tension increases.
And so as lad who's just been booked, he's still effing and blinding at the referee.
Parsons with a free kick, a yard inside the Slough half, up towards Warren Harris, but ball breaks out to the left back position, and Beckley on the ball. Beckley to Husband, and the ball bobbled terribly for him, just in front of it. Confew flicks the ball on, and then Robinson flicks it on, but this is harmless at the moment. Woo's got plenty of time to get under it, and clips the ball out to the left position with Short running a little bit out of energy here, but pass the ball out after the ball. But Daventry win the ball, and the ball's down the far right-hand corner with Woos and in pursuit of Berwick, but Woos does well, clears the ball forward, and Bully comes through with a smashing header, but Parsons equal to him. Parsons heads it away. Once again then, head tennis coming back, and it's going to go out of play for a... Dolan picks up the ball. Parsons once again wins the ball and knocks it out for a throw to Daventry. Daventry are very urgent at the moment. We've had 31 minutes of the second half. Ball bobbling around, and it's now in the Slough box, but harmlessly through for Somerville, and Somerville will take a little bit of time. Somerville will just slow it down. He's not even picked up the ball yet. He's just toying with Berwick, and now he's picked up the ball, and now he's jogging to the edge of the box, and Berwick seems still a little bit cheesed off about that other decision as Somerville launches the ball out right. He's sliced it slightly, but Beckley underneath it, heads it inside to McClurg. McClurg tries to flick it on, but ball bounces around. Simpson will get a lofted boot underneath it, but a hopeless ball there, as there's no one underneath it, and Fraser's got plenty of time to get it under control, under no pressure at all, and drive a long ball forward for Scott Harris to get interested in, and Dolman's after it, just happy enough to concede the throw, and Slough want to play the game in this area. It's almost a bit like rugby at this stage.
It is, but it's another bit of good defending from Dolman. I know we've what have we got left? 10, 12 minutes?
15 minutes.
15 minutes. At the moment, I think he's my man of the match. He's done very, very well at the back. He reads the game well. I think that's the thing. He's got a lot of experience. He's got to most things today and made sure he was in the right position at the right times.
For Rebel Ramble, the other player who was booked today is the keeper for Daventry, Richard Morris. He was booked after about the 52nd minute, again for verbals, and then Berwick just recently on 75 minutes was also booked. Slough won a corner, and it looks like Jamie McClurg stood over it as the big guys go forward. Rummy's just tucking in as now Daventry leave two players forward as there's the need in the game, but Simpson and Woos combine on the edge of the box. There's lots of movement there, and Jamie McClurg steps up, clips the ball into the box. and a header from Woos, but not enough power on it, straight into Morris's arms, and Morris now quick clearance through, which Fraser attacks bravely and sends back upfield, with Ed Smith chasing to close down Husband on the centre spot. Husband clears the ball out left to Berwick, and Berwick collects the ball and takes a touch, but Parsons coming out as O'Grady picks up the ball in the right back position. I can't really see what's going on. It's not terribly clear, but I believe it's a throw into Daventry. We've played 33 minutes here at Communications Park. It remains Daventry Town 1, Slough Town 2. Ball on the right wing position with Daventry drilling the ball into the box. Low ball. Simpson fighting over it with Robinson, but the ball not clear very far. Berwick has a hopeless effort from a very tight angle, very greedy there, and he blazed the ball over from almost on the byline when I would have thought a cross would have been better, Mick.
Yes, it would. They had one or two players in there, but I think he went for glory. Wrong decision, and it never troubled Jake, and it's gone over on the five-a-side pitches on the netting above the five-a-side pitches.
And some people are feeding horses on the far side, Mick.
There's some what?
People feeding horses. Or seeing them. I don't know exactly what's going on.
Football, to be honest. But
I know, but there's some horses on the far side.
Yeah, there's no accounting for taste, though, is there really?
Oh, Somerville slips as he clears that ball, lands on his bottom as the ball goes up through, and there's a sandwich with Scott Harris as the main dressing in there as the ball goes forward, but it's still not down on the deck yet as Confu hooks the ball forward. Parsons, who must have a headache because he's headed that many balls today, clips the ball, and Woos just heads the ball calmly back down to Somerville. And Slough again have the opportunity to take the pace out as Somerville's now closed down by Robinson. So we've got about 11 minutes left here at Communications Park, plus injury time. It's a very tense atmosphere here.
Yes, I don't think my nose will stand it. There's always a chance they can get back into the game, but at the moment we are still in the ascendancy.
As Harris, battling with Simpson brilliantly, tries to cross the ball edge of the box. There's no one there, so the ball will fall to Wilkinson to clear. Wilkinson, long ball forward in the direction of Berwick, who's just pushing him off the ball, pushing Parsons off the ball with the experience, but the ball now falls to Josh O'Grady, but ball comes out into the middle for George Short, passes it back to Woos, and Woos slices that clearance under a little bit of pressure, and it will be a throw into Daventry, which O'Grady will take down in front of us immediately into Robinson. Robinson midway inside the Slough half, but McClure coming back to battle against Alton. Little touches, but Rumbold has plenty of time to hook the ball clear with his left foot, and Dolan, agricultural clearance, and Woos wins the ball again. Slough defending very well, and Fraser helps the ball onto Harris, and Harris has it in acres of space again, and he's been sandwiched, and he's done very well, and just unfortunately just run out of puff as he gotten buffeted by two defenders, but that was a superb run by Harris once again.
And that was good defending. They shoved him a little bit, which is why he stumbled and pushed it forward. But
Simpson beats Robinson to the ball. Rumbold beats Conford, puts the ball through to Ed Smith. Ed Smith is adjudged to be offside, so he doesn't want to kick the ball away. Make your way back quickly, please, Ed. But as Morris wants to quickly make his way back, Ed, that was close. They're playing a very high line and touching danger. At one point they might get caught out, but Morris at the moment is quite happy to have the ball at his feet, take a free kick.
That was very, very close on the offside there. I thought he timed it better than that. If it hadn't been given, that was a goal.
Ball breaking on the edge of the box. Berwick on the edge of the box, turning very selfishly, pass the ball out left to Berwick. Barkley, hopeless cross with his left foot. That's probably why he plays on the right. That's probably the worst thing he's done all afternoon. And he slices it out for a goal kick to Slough.
That's and then on the roof of the five-a-side pitches, so that's two they've got to find. Get a third ball somewhere. Oh, yeah, we've got one coming on.
If you want to contact us at all, please, at MyFC Rebels Radio. Let us know what's going on in this game, and see what you want to say to us. See how. Any questions we can ask, anything about the horses. Mick's very interested in them. Leeds scores, whatever it might be.
Well, Leeds were 1-all at half time at Burnley, which surprised me.
As Somerville clears the ball long and Confu underneath it, beats Rumbold. Robinson then flicks the ball on left towards Berkeley, but Beckley doesn't do very well with that and can't pick that up, and the ball's bounced off, so it's thrown to Slough on the far side, which Simpson will go over from centre back to take because he's got a slightly longer throw than Fraser there. I
think the difference to last week was St Ives. Daventry have got some urgency about them now. They're 2-1 down. St Ives
Scott Harris in midfield now. Alton, high ball under it. Woos looking for it against Berwick, and Woos snaffles it well. Flicked on by McClurg. McClurg now, as Simpson comes flying into the ball, but cracks the ball, but basically Towers miss it as a long ball driven forward. Great header by Fraser. He's been very strong today. Ball out right to Warren Harris now. Warren Harris, ball at his feet. Confu in close attention. Having a little bit of a run, and Confu does very well. Wins the throw off Harris, and now Slough need to get back in the defenders. Beckley down the left-hand side, clips the ball in towards Robinson. Robinson, left edge of the box. back to Confu, midway in the Slough half. Ball now outright to Ollie Wilkinson. Wilkinson coming out to the edge of the box. Right, slots the ball out right now. And it's the substitute O'Grady trying to cut in onto his left foot. Ball driven into the far stick. And then a header by Confu over the bar with what was a good that was a good chance, I would say, Mick.
He got into a good position. It was just slightly too high for him, unfortunately. That was a very, very good position.
And the second substitute for Slough, George Short, to be replaced by Jake Parsons for the last 10 minutes or so. So George Short being subbed after what has been a good shift. I think he has just probably run out of legs a little bit, would you say?
Yes, he probably has. He's had a good game. To be fair to him, he has had a very, very good game. But maybe those new legs for the last 10 minutes might just hopefully will be the difference between the two sides.
So we have about 7 minutes plus injury time left as the substitutes just made. George looking very tired. Parsons, we have a Parsons left side now with Jake seemingly playing ahead of Ryan. And Rumbold's just flapping his arms around, trying to get the players motivated. Let's put in this final little bit of effort. It's now Marlow 2, Rugby 5. So that game's going in a different way as Harris once again up against Simpson. But Simpson does well. Long ball goes through and it's harmlessly through now to Somerville, and Somerville will control it at his feet and then make Beckley go all the way through and forward to win that ball. So just wasting a little bit more time. The time isn't passing any quicker. We have played 39 minutes, 6 minutes plus injury time to go. Somerville clears the ball long and right out towards Warren Harris. Warren Harris wins the ball, gets the second. Little flick through towards Scott Harris, but Simpson, who's had a very strong game, up to midfield to Robinson, picks it up on halfway line. But Rumbold's strong. Rumbold's very strong, and there's a real battle going on there as Alton passes the ball out to Wilkinson. Wilkinson in the right back position on the halfway line, clips the ball forward. Parsons, Ryan variety that is, passes the ball forward towards Ed Smith, but cut out there by Alton, and Alton on the ball in the right, chips the ball through. Plenty of time for Jake here now. Jake's down in Jake Parsons in the kind of left back position, clips the ball up the line and harmlessly out for a throw in to Kettering. And we've got a little bit of time to breathe now, Mick.
I think Dave Hughes had a good game at the back as well for Slough, to be honest.
I think Fraser has been quite good. Harris has been outstanding and really battling. And Woos again strong there against Berwick. And Jake Parsons picks the ball up well. And Simpson no messing, clips the ball forward. Return with interest. And other Parsons comes in now. Jake just gets a touch on it. And Warren Harris up towards Ed Smith. Rumbold underneath it. And Rumbold and Simpson are battling. Free kick just conceded there by Scott Harris on the halfway line, and Wilkinson is keen to take this quickly. And McClurg is going into the book for verbals now after 85 minutes. I think for just moaning and for talking. So that's the third. That's the third booking. The locals are restless as ever here as we go into the final throws of this game. Wilkinson, free kick, right hand side, looking for a quick 1-2, but Josh O'Grady in the left position, clips the ball in swinger, ball bobbling around at edge of the box. Confu, 2 players after it. Confu tries to take a touch, but Simpson does very well and hooks the ball out left. So it's again an attacking throw. Daventry building the pressure here, throws the ball quickly out, but the ball picked off there by Jake Parsons. Jake Parsons back to Ryan Parsons under all sorts of pressure. Concede the throw down on the right hand side, but Slough managed to clear the ball out of the ground, waste a little bit more time. Wilkinson now with the ball. They're just trying to get the ball on as quick as possible here.
We have got to withstand this pressure.
This is a real test here now for Slough. Slough under the cosh here. They're defending with all their worth. There's 2 balls on the pitch.
Ref, 2 balls on the pitch.
There's 2 balls on the pitch, and the referee hasn't noticed 2 balls on the pitch. There's another ball down there, ref. But a great tackle. He won the ball. That's a cracking decision. That's a mental decision by the referee. As Rumbold clearly won the ball, but he was judged to have fouled Alton. He's really he's speaking to the. We've still got 2 balls on the pitch. It's a free kick in a very dangerous position now for Daventry. 5 yards outside the edge of the box on the right hand edge of the box. Not for a shooting position, but for a cross, I would think. And Alton stood over the ball. This will really test them. There's still a second ball on the pitch. The referee hasn't noticed there's a second ball on the pitch. I'm not sure if he's got glasses, but there is another ball on the pitch. And they've still noticed there's Alton's just looking for this free kick. This is a real test of Slough's metals. We've had 43 minutes. Daventry Town 1, Slough Town 2. Lots of movement in the box. And the ball, that is a woeful ball through for a goal kick, and that is a big let-off there for Slough, really. They had a great opportunity there.
It was just an aimless free kick that went straight through everybody. Nobody moved for it. Defenders didn't need to move for it, and the forwards just didn't look as though they could be bothered there. It just went straight out of play. But we have had the farce of this ball coming on, this second ball coming on the pitch.
We've got about 2 minutes left plus injury time here at Communications Park. Daventry Town 1, Slough Town 2. Slough creeping and crawling towards a potential victory and 3 points here. The ball, Somerville's kick goes straight out over Scott Harris's head and for a throw in for it, but Ryan Parsons has a bit of time but decides to go area and clips the ball long. A header back to Dolan. Dolan's midway inside his own half, passes the ball out right to O'Grady. O'Grady now under pressure from substitute Jake Parsons, but O'Grady going inside on his favoured left foot, passes the ball out left to left back Husband 5 yards inside the Slough half, down the line to Robinson treads on the ball, passes it back to Husband clips it through with his right foot, and Somerville's alert to it, comes out, smothers well, and once again Slough can breathe a sigh of relief. We are in the 45th minute of the second half.
It's a good job Jake was on song there, because there was no defenders with the lad.
Long ball clear, and Scott Harris puts his body on the line, puts it under a bit of pressure, as does Warren Harris. And Fraser concedes a free kick a yard inside the Daventry half on the far side, literally on the touchline, which Alton stands over. They really need to push forward and press if they're going to get anything from this game. This will be a big result for the Rebels if they can keep it going, particularly with some of the other results so far this evening. Long ball lofted into the box. Simpson flicks the ball on and it'll be a corner. It's a corner to Daventry. They're putting pressure on now as we go into stoppage time here at Communications Park. This is where the game really matters here, as we've got O'Grady with an in-swinging corner. Every player is up, bar Ed Smith and Husband, in or around the Slough penalty box. Slough, if they get this, could launch the ball quickly forward. Dolan stood on Somerville in the kill. As the ball comes in, headed clear by Woos bravely, but the ball's on the edge of the box, driven in low, and once again, great block by Scott Harris. Ball's not coming in. Berwick hooks the ball in, but Woos once again, tremendous. Heads the ball clear, and Parsons, very strong with his head, clears the ball forward, and Husband collects it, has a touch, tries to overrun the ball, but flicked on by about 5 people. And no messing from Sean Fraser as he kicks the ball into the horses field. And we are in injury time. We have played about a minute of injury time here so far at Communications Park. It'll be interesting to see how much Mr. Shriven adds on. Ball back in play now. Far side. Alton on the edge of the box, tries to turn, but close attention. Harris hooks the ball clear, but only as far as Confu, who clears the ball out to the left. Husband now, edge of the left edge of the box, drives the ball in. Simpson on the ball, but Parsons underneath it. Both Parsons underneath it. And McClurg hooks the ball clear, but Confu 40 yards out. Another lofted ball in. Somerville under all sorts of pressure and does well to hold onto the ball. And will that be it? We are now in the 3rd minute of injury time here at Communications Park. Daventry throwing the kitchen sink at Slough. And Somerville quite happy to just clear the ball long and slightly right. He sliced it out, and one of the aggressive Daventry assistants quickly throws the ball to Simpson, who again gets the ball back in play. But Fraser throws the ball up in the air, and it's all Daventry on the edge of the box now. Real pressure here, but Jake Parsons hooks the long ball forward, and now it's a foot race, and Dolan's after it. Dolan clips the ball right to Wilkinson, again back to Dolan now. Dolan takes a touch, back to Wilkinson. Still inside his own half in the right back position, left-footed long ball forward, which Simpson does well to come through, and Warren Harris is going to get his foot there. It's just lofted anywhere from Slough at the moment, and it will bounce out for a throw into Daventry.
Warren Harris is limping as well.
I think we're going to use the final substitute here, and I think it's going to be the first return from injury from Guy Hollis, who's going to come on and replace Warren Harris. So Guy Hollis, number 12, replaces the goal scorer and assists Warren Harris in the 92nd minute of this game here.
Yeah, I think he pulled, I don't know whether he's done his hamstring or what, he's limping off. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, and they've just decided to take that as a precaution, maybe, hopefully.
And we really are in the death throes of this game as Hollis returns with his left knee heavily strapped and straight up against Comfy with a throw-in taken short by Wilkinson down the line. Far right corner, Joshua Grady up against Parsons. Long ball through, Jake Somerville collects the ball well, and that might well be that. We have played 48 minutes here. We've played 48 minutes here at Communications Park, and the locals are getting a bit more restless now. Not happy with how this has gone. As Somerville clears the ball, but it only finds Confield on halfway. Long ball through by Dolan, out left towards Berkeley. Berkeley up against Guy Hollis, and his first contribution is to give away a free kick 5 yards outside the edge of the box and 5 yards towards the touchline. So last potential bit of danger here for Slough.
We could have done without that one. Free kick to Daventry coming in from the far side. So keeper's going up as well.
The keeper's going up. We only have one player back. Husband, ball clipped in. And it's brought around in the edge of the box, and it's driven in. It's driven in, Ben. And you can hear the ladies very happy. I just got ran at. Why did you do that? Yeah, I know. I was just wondering why you ran at me. I was a bit scared for a minute. I don't know why. I was just like, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, and Beckley has put a dagger into the hearts of Slough by scoring in the 94th minute. So
that wasn't cleared at all. That was bad defending. He took his chance well, to be fair to him.
So I think that was O'Grady actually who has rescued a point here.
Congratulations O'Grady on that one.
So it's all gone a little bit of carnage here at the last minute. No, that's all right. It's just when I'm on here, it's a bit, just getting apologies from the locals who got very restless and kind of started bumping around a little bit. Slough just take the free kick and drive a little ball out towards the left, which Parsons after.
Just need to concentrate.
Might push for a winner, but Simpson strong as a header underneath it. To touch. And Ed Smith's through! And it could be a goal! Oh! Very exciting as there was a shot there, and that is a final whistle, and it has been a very exciting game here with the final score of Daventry Town 2, Slough Town 2, with a last minute equaliser in what was an amazing game, Mick.
Well, that was a tremendous game. For a neutral it was, for Slough it wasn't particularly good with that last goal. There were a lot of defensive errors there. Nobody seemed to want to clear it at the back, and it came out. I thought it came out to Josh O'Grady.
I think it was Josh O'Grady, yes. I think Josh O'Grady with his left foot smashed
I know that the chap here said it was, who did he say it was? Berkel, but it wasn't. I think it was O'Grady. It's disappointing, but it was a good performance at the end of the day.
And it does mean an awful lot, it would seem, to Daventry, because they've almost celebrating like they've won the league.
Yeah.
So a real killer blow there, but not... All right. But there you go. As all the players are having a little word with the ref, I don't think either team's particularly happy as people get clapped off the pitch, and it's 2-2. But it was a very interesting game there, Mick.
I think my man of the match would be Dolman. I give it to the opposition today. I know Dave Woolsey had a good game. Warren Harris had a good game. But I think Dolman had a superb game at the back for Daventry. He's got a lot of experience, he used it well. He's not the quickest, but he got into positions where he knew where the ball was coming. And from that point of view, I'm afraid I'll give it to him.
I think there were some strong performances from both number fives, actually. I thought Dave Woos was particularly strong, as was Sean Fraser. And Warren Harris had a very, very good game. And it's very passionate here, should we say, at Daventry.
Yeah. It's very loud. I hope that's coming across as well, but we've given as good as we've got, I think, on the supporters front. Just a shame it's ending a draw, but a point's better than nothing at the end of the day, but it could have been 3. Just one bit of bad defending at the end, otherwise we'd have been fine.
And some Daventry fans are celebrating like they've already won the league. It's very interesting. Full time at Royston 2, Barton 2. Aylesbury 1, Aylesbury drew 1 all at Uxbridge. So it's Uxbridge 1, Aylesbury 1. Chalfont 0, Northwood 1. Egham 1, North Greenford 0. And St Ives 1, AFC Hayes. So a little bit guessing there, but I think the final score probably at Rugby was Marlow 2, Rugby 6. So a really good game for Rugby to bounce back in. And Dunstable won 3-0 against Aylesbury. And Kettering 1-2 at Beaconsfield. So all in all, not a great day for Slough.
No, it's not a great day for either side, really, if truth be told. It's another game off Daventry's list, but it's another game off ours. But as I say, at least we've got 1 point, which is better than nothing. I'm
Okay.
disappointed.
Right, well, thank you ever so much for listening. I look forward to speaking to you all next week at the home game against Leighton. There's some more games to go before then, so I hope you've enjoyed it, but let us know how you got on, and we'll speak to you all soon. Cheers.